that does. It's a very intense looking machine. Hello and welcome to Tactical Adventure Thailand. Today, as you can tell, we're back at the old steel mill. That's really hard for me to say fast. And this place is so huge, you can literally get turned around, lost, and not find your way back for a while, especially in the dark. So that's for that reason. Today I have two different light sources and chargers for both of them with me. So there's some filming going on, so I gotta turn off the lights. Ooh, it's dark. And that's how dark it is here, ladies and gentlemen, with the lights off. See through that. Too dirty. Physical test room. So this looks like some machinery to test the braking strength of the rebar and the other metals. It doesn't look like it's been used in a while, since it has about 3 years worth of dust. So because of all of the stairs and the passageways and the elevated positions and the length of this place, it would be an amazing place to have some tactical training with simunitions, paintball, or airsoft. Any of those three would work well. Simunitions obviously being the most realistic and fun, but any of those would work well. But also what this would be really good for is what we would call an urban sniper or designated shooter training scenario. Because of these elevated positions and a wide field of view, no crosswinds, it would make for a very good training location. So, something to think about. Imagine, if you will, a scenario in which you have to go into this warehouse as a team, as let's say a 6-man or 14-man or even a 28-man team, and find one sniper and take him out before he takes out you and half of your team. Up here there are a lot of elevated positions with laddered and staired access, so it'd be very easy for him to get up and tuck into one of those positions and have a huge field of view of this entire 200-meter long warehouse, where he could engage targets at will. And if he's using suppressed weapon or firing from defilade, it's going to be very hard to figure out where he's from, especially for the first 3 to 5 rounds. So if that sniper is any good, he can pick you off. If he's got night vision, or he's got even a scope without night vision, and you guys are casting off light as you're coming into this place, or you're walking into a lighted area, he could pick you off, one shot per person, let's say. 3 to 5 rounds, that's 3 to 5 guys down. If you're a 6-man team, that's all but the last guy, right? If you're, you can do the math. He could eat you alive in this place. Even if there were 2 or 3 other aggressors that were in here, other targets that you were trying to find and get to, it would be very, very, very hard and very dangerous trying to find them, weed them out, and capture or exterminate them. So that's something for you to think about. When you look at a large space like this, you need to think about where are the best shooting positions and how you could be engaged from those positions and how you could escape and survive. That's a really difficult part. So what are some of the tools and tactics that you could use to improve your survivability in a place like this, right, where you've got this could be a perfect machine gun nest or sniper position up here. Those are crane operator control stations. And you could sit up there and bench rest your firearm right on the handrail of that place and take shots for 200 meters that way and engage targets. So what are some of the tools and tactics and techniques that you could use, right? Night vision, but better than that, thermal. Right, so thermal imaging scopes or devices can give you an idea of where they're at longer distances than many of the current night vision that's out there. And now they have night vision and thermal devices that are combined that the military is currently using. And to improve survivability in a place like this, what could you use? Camouflage and concealment in movement, stealth, pump smoke in, pump noise in, then use your night vision and your thermal to try and figure out where he's at. And communication. So you need to be able to communicate with the other teammates. That's key to your survival. You would come in through multiple entryways at the same time, as well as try to establish a designated shooter position and in an elevated position so that he can overwatch you as you move and look for the shooter after that first shot's fired. And that will give you a better chance of surviving. I won't say you'll survive 100%, but it'll definitely improve your odds. Additionally, you could pump in smoke with an agitating agent such as CS or vomiting agent. So tear gas or anything that's going to burn the eyes and throat and make it uncomfortable to be hidden in there and popping off shots at you. Then you gas mask up and you can go in and find them that way. Flashbang grenades. Using flashbang grenades to drive them out of suspected areas. I wouldn't use fragmentation in a place like this because it's going to throw up so much debris and fragments that it's going to go everywhere and can get you. It's too wide open. There's not enough closed doors that have enough material to stop fragmentation from coming through the walls. And then, of course, the last and final technique or tactic that you could use, which is probably your best bet, is to just drop a JDAM on the damn thing. Just blow it up from as far away as possible. So in order to save lives, we create longer distance. And we can do that with air-delivered ordnance, artillery, sniper fire, long guns such as rifles, then go to handguns, and then last resort is obviously blunt instruments, knives, and hand-to-hand. So that's our continuum of coming down our force ladder there. So if you're wondering why, huge Marine units with hundreds of guys, battalion strength, drop bombs on buildings because there's one sniper in there, it's because there's a 50% mortality rate in an urban combat environment. You expect to lose 50% of your men if you go into an urban combat environment. And snipers are the #1 killers, most efficient. So this is all steel. This is all metal, raw material. The stacked up here. So for full metal jackets or armor penetrating rounds, this is all ricochet material. So throwing a fragmentation grenade in the middle of here, while if you're on the other side, will definitely, if you're on the other side, you'll be safe. If you're here, if you're anywhere in that direction, left or right, left or right of that, you're gonna get splashback, you're gonna get fragmentation. So probably a little better to use tear gases and flashbangs for this kind of environment. Additionally, you wouldn't want to take this place at night unless you absolutely had to. There's so many little cubby holes and hiding places that the dark just increases your chances of failure, of being killed. Small details, you might be able to figure out exactly what this movie is. But you gotta pay attention to the details. This video will be a continuation from yesterday evening's video because we're back at the same place again. And when I got home last night, my family was asleep, and then this morning my wife said something that I found to be very true. Apparently, I have forgotten to tell you guys about myself, who I am, where I come from, what I've done, what I do. And so I guess I need to do that. I guess I need to tell you guys why I'm talking to you, and maybe we can connect on some level due to my background. Many of you guys might be wondering, who's this guy? Who's this David who does the Tactical Adventure Thailand vlog? Who's this guy? Why should I listen to him? Why should I care what he has to say? You certainly don't have to. You certainly don't need to care what I say. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I started off doing security in the 90s. You want to go play? Okay. I started off doing security in the 90s in Texas, in high crime areas, and then was involved in a couple of situations there, and then I went and I joined the Marines, traveled around the world, was involved in all kinds of situations all over the place, and then got out of the Marines and started to do firearms training. Did firearms training for a number of years, even actually prior to getting out of the Marines. While I was in the Marines, I did stuff like work security for nightclubs and events. I did occasional bodyguard jobs and some other things. And then during my last year in the Marines, I started teaching firearms, taking the knowledge that I learned in the Marines and applying it to the civilian market. And I did that as well as some close protection work and nightclub security stuff as well for a number of years. I had other jobs that were necessary and maybe a little bit more sustainable during those times. Then, because firearms training can be sporadic and hit and miss and up and down in some ways, especially if you're a freelance guy doing it. Then worked in Vegas for a number of years. Did bodyguard jobs, limousine driving, firearms training, you name it. Whatever I could do to pay the bills, I did it. But in a certain vein of work, a certain direction of work, still related to security, still related to bodyguard, related to military stuff. Then I got into private security contracting and went over to Afghanistan for a couple of years. And when I say a couple of years, it means like 30 days, 90 days on, 30 days off, on rotations like that for a couple of years. I have been to Iraq, I have been to Egypt with some very interesting people, and I have done things. I've started doing work along the Thai-Burma border here in Thailand, taking doctors into the jungle region, providing security for them, as well as doing some other odds and ends. During all of this time, even while I was in the Marines since 1996, I started trying to do stunt work in films, very, very, very sporadically, very stop and start kind of stuff. And then when I came to Thailand and I was doing the stuff along the Thai-Burma border, and then I decided to move here full time, I started doing a lot more movie-related things, stunts, military advising, firearms training geared towards movies, stunt driving, sling work or wire work, high falls. I've been kicked in the head by guys with their legs on fire, jumped off of cliffs and 37-story buildings and things like that. So quite an adventurous life. You might be able to see some of those clips or some photos of that down below, and I think I'm going to put a highlights reel at the end of all my videos after this, so you guys will start to see and understand some of the crazy stuff I've done. So now, that brings us up to current times. What I do now is I own a security company that provides nightclub security, close protection, firearms training, event security, film, on-set film security, armory services for film, military advising for film, and a host of other things. So I'm still super busy all the time, and super adventurous even at almost 45 years of age. I'm 44 and change right now, so still a very adventurous guy. And I want to take you guys along for many of those adventures and to see the things that come in the future. You can go back through my channel and look at the 32 or 37 videos from years past and get an idea of some of the adventures I've been in and some of the things I've done just here in Thailand. I don't even have much stuff from before Thailand. So anyway, I'll try to find some of my Afghanistan photos and videos and post them, but most of it is whatever. You'll see. So that's it for me. This is day number 3 on this vlog. By the way, today is December 13th. I would like to say from Thailand Tactical Adventure, we appreciate every one of you. We love you all. We wish you were here with us and having adventures with us. Stay tuned for more adventures. We'll be seeing you soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? I'm tired.
You gotta do this every night before bed so we can sleep. This kind of thing.
Can see mommy bruise everywhere on the
Yeah,
legs.
for an hour and jump back and forth on mommy and daddy's legs and body.
1, 2, 3, go!
Why?
Hit